An offensive coordinator told him that he believes eventually Kyler Murray is going to wind up being harder to stop than Lamar. The quote is, he neutralizes a good defensive line. Lamar, you know what you have to do to stop him. Not that it's easy. He's a runner. Kyler has that release. We touched on this yesterday, and I really wanted to get the thoughts of Lewis and Ryan Clark, who's with us this morning as well. And RC, I'll start with you. Is that, when you hear that, Kyler Murray could be tougher to stop than Lamar Jackson? What do you think?
Well, I think people remember what their scouting reports look like and what their reviews and evaluations were when people were coming out of college. And if you look at Kyler Murray going #1 overall, even though he's 5'10" and Lamar is over 6'2", it's because people believe that he was a better thrower of the ball than Lamar was coming out of college. And I think they just still believe the same thing. And this is no indictment on Kyler Murray. He is extremely quick, extremely fast. He's fast to speed. He's explosive, and he can also throw the football. But when you talk about neutralizing a defensive line, have we ever seen any quarterback neutralize a defensive line, a linebacker core, or a secondary better than Lamar Jackson did with his legs last year? And yes, he has to improve in throwing the ball outside the numbers, and Kyler Murray is definitely farther along in throwing the ball than Lamar Jackson is. But to compare those two guys and think that Kyler Murray becomes hard to stop, I think that only goes back to when you look at your sheet, when Kyler Murray was coming out, you look at your sheet, when Lamar Jackson was coming out, and you said, you know what, this guy can throw the ball, this guy can't. And I think we're going to continue to see these types of conversations, this type of thing said about Lamar Jackson until he proves some of the people wrong who didn't believe in him in the first place. Greeny, do you know why first-round draft picks continue to go to different teams and show you that they suck time and time again? Is because people cannot forget what they thought about these dudes when they were coming out of school. And I think Lamar Jackson falls victim to that a lot, but I do believe that this conversation has a little bit to do with that.
I agree with that. I did an entire essay on how people just won't admit they were wrong on Lamar Jackson a couple of weeks ago. That said, Lewis, let me ask you about Kyler Murray. I mean, the MVP of the league each of the last 2 seasons has been a second-year quarterback who just exploded and had a huge season. Kyler Murray's team, which has an offense built around him, adds maybe the best receiver in the whole sport in DeAndre Hopkins. Is it crazy to think he could be that guy this year?
No, it's not crazy at all. I mean, obviously, a lot of things have to go right for him. The offense has to stay balanced. He has to stay on the field, meaning the defense has to do their part so he has more cracks at it, so he has more possessions and he has more chances to throw. And then he's going to ultimately need to have the protection. He's going to need to execute. And there's no reason why, from an execution standpoint, he isn't able to take his game from point A to point B and really make that huge second-year leap. I think what people are trying to say about Kyler in particular is this. People believe that when he is in the pocket, when he is a pure drop-back passer, that he is someone who is able to distribute the football with more efficiency, with quicker release times, and really dice you up from a pure throwing perspective better than Lamar. Quite honestly, I mean, I think it's a slap in the face to Lamar, and I think Ryan is on the right track here. I think people won't give him credit for what he can do in the pocket. They believe this. As long as you can keep him contained, keep him inside the tackle box, do not have him become a dual run-pass threat, then when you put Lamar in the pocket and you truly have to make him become a drop-back passer and he doesn't have the benefit of play action on first and second down, then we've got him right where we want him, then we can neutralize him and shut him down. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to answer that. He's going to have to say, hey, remember those 28 TD passes I threw from the pocket last year that led the NFL? It wasn't a fluke, and now I'm going to take it to the next level, meaning this. I don't need play action to dice you up. I don't need the benefit of the run-pass conflict for the defense in order to get what I want to get from you. And he's going to have to answer those questions. And it's amazing the disrespect that a guy who just won MVP continues to get, because that's really what it is. Again, it's not to take anything away from Kyler Murray, but Lamar has some questions that people need him to answer, and judging from what I know about him from afar, he's going to answer them. He's going to answer them very quickly, too, and I can't wait to see it.
Here's one quick thing I would say. If you add up the ages right now of Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, they're 46 years old. They're both 23. Kyler Murray just turned 23 a week ago. And Tom Brady is 43. These two combined are 46. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.